So welcome friends. In today's lecture, we are going to learn about complexometric titrations. So let us learn what is meant by complexometric titrations. Definition: the volumetric titration in which the concentration of metal ion, that is a cation, is determined by titrating it against complexing agent or ligand solution, and this is called as the complexometric titrations. Now look at this word. So in this technique, what we are going to determine the concentration of the metal ion. Okay, the concentration of the metal ion, and this metal ion is called as the cation. So unknown concentration of metal ion is determined by using the complexing agent solution or the ligand solution. Now what is meant by a ligand? What is meant by a ligand? The ligand are the chemical species which donates one or more lone pair of the electrons is called as the ligand. Ligand are the chemical species which donates one or more lone pair of the electrons is called as the ligand. Ligands are differentiated on the basis of their denticity. Okay, so what is denticity? It is the ability to donate number of lone pairs of the electrons. If a ligand donates one lone pair of electron, then it is called as the monodentate ligand. When a ligand donates one lone pair of electron, then the ligand is called as the monodentate ligand. Two lone pair of electron, then it is called as bidentate ligand. Three lone pair, it is tridentate. Four tetradentate, and so on. So what are the example of monodentate ligand? Okay, Cl minus, I minus, amine. This is the ammonia, NH3. Okay, so here it has the one extra lone pair of the electrons. So these ligands are called as the monodentate ligand. Bidentate ligand, for example, this is the ethylene diamine. It has two lone pair of the electrons. This is the one on the nitrogen and another on this nitrogen. So this are the two extra lone pair of the electron. Now how this complexometric titration is represented? Okay, so this is our metal ion solution. When this metal ion solution is titrated against this ligand solution or the complexing agent, then we get this metal ligand complex, and the water molecule is separated out. See, this water acts as a ligand also. This is a monodentate ligand. So in this chemical reaction, a complex is formed. So this reaction is called as complexation reaction or complexometric reaction. The titration in which complex is formed. So such reaction, such titration is called as complexometric titrations. Okay. So what are the famous complexing agents? So EDTA is widely used a complexing agents. Now what is EDTA? EDTA is a ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. Ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. So look at the structure of the EDTA here. Okay, so this is the ethylene group, CH2 CH2. Two amine groups are attached. This is nitrogen nitrogen. So name is ethylene diamine. So these are the four carboxylic group, acetic acid groups. So this is 1 2 3 and 4. So name of this compound is ethylene diamine. Tetra means 4 acetic acid. Okay, so it is, what are the characteristic of EDTA? It is a hexadentate ligand. Okay, hexadentate ligand means it donates 6 lone pair of the electron. Okay, so which lone pair, how many lone pair are present? Now look at here. This is the one lone pair present on nitrogen, second on this nitrogen, now third on this oxygen. So it will split as OH minus and H plus. Okay, then fourth on this, fifth on this carboxylic group, and sixth on this carboxylic group. So how many lone pair of electrons? So there are total 6 lone pair of electron which this EDTA ligand donates, so it is called as a hexadentate ligand. Okay. Now this EDTA is a widely used complexing agents to estimate concentration of various metal ions. So very vast majority of metal ions can be estimated or titrated by using EDTA. It is used in the form of its disodium salt with molecular weight 372.25 gram per mole. EDTA binds to the metal ion and forms the octahedral complex. So how it looks like octahedral complex? Now look. So this is the octahedral complex. So this is the central metal ion, and this metal ion is complexed by using this hexadentate ligand. Okay, now how this is formed? So look at here, these two nitrogens, okay, this two nitrogen on this donates two lone pair of the electrons. Okay, now this two oxygen donates, okay, two lone pair of the electrons, and remaining two oxygen donates two lone pair of the electrons. So in this way we have total six lone pair of electron, right? So once again look at this. So first two lone pair is shared by these two nitrogens, then second two lone pair shared by these two oxygen, and remaining two is shared by these two oxygen. So in this way this octahedral complex is formed. Now how this reaction look like? Okay, this is our fully deprotonated EDTA, and this combined with this metal ion, and then it forms this octahedral complex. So this way this octahedral complex looks like. So when metal ion solution is titrated with EDTA solution, it forms the octahedral complex. Now let us discuss titration curve for the EDTA titrations. Okay, so here look like this is the curve of concentration of metal ion versus the ml of EDTA added, and this curve is like a S-shaped curve. When EDTA is used as a titrant and metal ion as a titer, then this plot of PM versus ml of titrant, that is EDTA added, gives the titration curve for the complexometric titration. So what is PM? PM is the negative log of the metal ion concentration, same as like pH. Okay, pH is equal to negative log of H plus ion concentration. So here we use the cation as a metal ion, so therefore we use this term PM, where Mn plus is the free metal ion concentrations. Now in this plot, this vertical part, okay, this vertical part shows the equivalence point. This vertical part shows the equivalence point. The height of inflection depends upon the stability constant of the complex. More the stability constant, sharper is the end point. Okay, the height of inflection means this part. Okay, this part, this height part. Okay, this depends on the stability constant of, or the formation constant of our metal EDTA ion solution. This EDTA is used to estimate concentration of different metal ions such as magnesium, manganese, zinc, cadmium, mercury, lead, copper, aluminium, iron, cobalt, nickel, titanium, and the platinum. The metal ion sensitive indicator are used in EDTA titrations. The metal ion indicators such as Eriochrome black tea or EBT, solochrome black tea, Paton and reader indicators are used as metal ion indicator in these complexometric titrations. Types of EDTA titrations. Okay, there are two type of EDTA titration. First is direct titration, and second is the back titration, or it is called as indirect titration. Now let us see in details. So in direct titration, the direct titration is used when, okay, when these are the two conditions: when our metal ion forms complex with the EDTA in the pH range of this titration. Okay, this is important point. So the when we are going to do the titration in some range of pH, in that range our metal ion should form complex with the EDTA. In that case, direct method is used, and when a suitable metal ion indicator is present for our titration. So in these two conditions, this direct EDTA titration is used. When this two condition is not followed, then in that case the back titration or indirect titration is used. Now, in this titration, the burette is filled with standard EDTA solution. Okay, and this acts as a titrant. This acts as a titrant, and in conical flask, the unknown metal ion solution, suitable metal ion indicator, and pH 10 buffer solution is added, and this acts as a titer. To avoid precipitation, the auxiliary complexing agents such as potassium tartarate or citrate are added to the conical flask. Now, what is the auxiliary complexing agent? This avoid the formation of the metal hydroxide. Okay, these two complexing agents. Initially, the solution is in red color due to metal ion complex. Then metal ion solution is titrated slowly with the EDTA solution. At the end point of the titration, the solution in the conical flask turns red to blue. Okay, so end point is red to blue. From the end point, the exact concentration of the metal ion is determined. Now, in back titration, so when we use back titration, the back or indirect titration is used when the metal ion forms inert complexes or precipitate with the EDTA in the pH range of the pH range of the complexometric titration. And this back titration is also used when suitable metal indicator is not available. The back titration is also used when suitable metal indicator is not available. In this titration, the burette is filled with unknown metal ion solution as a titrant. So in previous case, in direct case, the burette was filled with the EDTA solution. In back titration, reverse is taken, reverse is done. The burette is filled with unknown metal ion solution. Okay, and this acts as a titrant. And in conical flask, the excess EDTA solution excess of EDTA is back titrated with the metal ion solution. Initially, solution is not blue colored. At the end point of the titration, the solution in conical flask turns blue to red. Okay, so I'm sorry. So initially, the solution is blue colored. Okay, due to the metal ion and EDTA complex. At the end point, metal ion and the metal ion indicators, metal ion solution and the metal ion indicator. So due to that, the solution turns to blue. At the end point of the titration, the solution in the conical flask turns blue to red. From the end point, exact concentration of the metal ion is determined, and this back titration, indirect titration, is used for the estimation of magnesium sulfate, magnesium chloride, zinc sulfate, etc. Okay.